Welcome back to our channel. Today's episode is unlike any before, a confluence of faith, tradition, and personal transformation set against the backdrop of a changing monarchy. We bring you the extraordinary account of how Pope Leo and King Charles's unexpected gesture to Princess Catherine not only made headlines, but brought Prince William to tears, signaling a seismic shift in royal destiny, and sending shockwaves through both palace walls and the Vatican itself. A moment that changed everything. It all began with a simple announcement, a summit scheduled at the Vatican, on May 15, 2025. But what unfolded would be anything but routine. The meeting, held in the humble halls of Casa Santa Marta, would mark a new chapter for three remarkable individuals: King Charles III, the newly elected Pope Leo XIV, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. What the world witnessed was more than a diplomatic courtesy. This was a historic intersection of legacy and future, of power and humility. For Catherine, the summit was not just another official duty, it became the stage for her emergence as a unifying force, a symbol of hope in a world increasingly splintered by division. As dignitaries gathered under the Vatican's ancient eaves, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Reporters whispered. Cameras clicked. Even seasoned Vatican officials sensed the weight of the moment. When Charles arrived, flanked by Queen Camilla, her composure betraying a tremor of nerves, he was greeted not with grand ceremony, but with the simple, intimate welcome that Pope Leo, the former Archbishop of Chicago, had chosen as his papal signature. That was the first sign. This meeting would defy precedent. Pope Leo and Charles, architects of a new era. Both leaders have long been advocates for interfaith understanding. Charles, as the supreme governor of the Church of England, quietly persistent in his vision for a monarchy that heals rather than divides. Leo, with his reputation as a bridge builder, a pope for a world in need of dialogue, not dogma. But the true center of gravity was Catherine. Here was a woman whose life journey, from her days as a commoner to global icon, from mother and wife to cancer survivor, had quietly prepared her for something greater. Her very presence became a metaphor for resilience, compassion, and the hope that unity is possible even in the face of the world's oldest divisions. As the private session began, a hush fell. The Pope and the King, in a rare show of mutual vulnerability, spoke candidly of the challenges confronting both church and crown: escalating global conflict, the fracturing of communities, the epidemic of loneliness and mental health crises that now haunt every nation. But the real turning point came as they turned their attention to Catherine. The Unity Monarch, a title forged in tears. With deep emotion, King Charles addressed the group, his voice faltering as he spoke of Catherine's grace under pressure, her tireless commitment to service even as she faced her own battles. Camilla, always the pillar, dabbed discreetly at her eyes. Catherine, elegant yet unmistakably moved, listened as her father-in-law described her as the beating heart of a modern monarchy, capable of bridging not only families and nations, but faiths and generations. Then Pope Leo did something no one expected. Taking a small portrait of Catherine, one Charles had brought as a personal gesture, the Pope placed his hands upon it, quietly bestowing a private papal blessing. In that sacred silence, he spoke of Catherine as the Unity Monarch, not just a figurehead, but a living testament to the possibility of reconciliation, a global ambassador for healing in a fractured world. The symbolism was immense. For centuries, relations between the Catholic Church and the British monarchy had been marked by suspicion, even hostility. Here, in one humble room, the walls of history melted away. The Pope's words echoed through the chamber: "Your capacity to listen, to connect, to see beyond creed and class, that is what our world now needs most." William, standing at the edge of the gathering, could not hold back his tears. For all his training in royal restraint, he was, at that moment, simply a husband overwhelmed by pride and gratitude for the woman by his side. Catherine, the compassionate heart of a new monarchy. But who is Catherine, the woman now hailed as the Unity Monarch? Beneath the flawless exterior, the tailored dresses, the carefully chosen words, lies a spirit forged in the crucible of public scrutiny and personal pain. From the earliest days, Catherine's life was anything but sheltered. She entered royal life as an outsider, her every move dissected and debated. Yet, unlike so many before her, she navigated the treacherous currents of tradition and expectation with rare resilience. Her first solo engagement, at a cancer charity in Lancaster in 2011, set the tone. She listened, truly listened, to patients, to children, to staff. Her questions were insightful, her comfort genuine. Even then, those who watched closely sensed her destiny would not be ordinary. Marriage and motherhood grounded her, even as the demands of royalty multiplied. She drove her children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, to school herself, sneaking moments of laughter in the car, seeking normalcy amidst the spectacle. In public, she knelt to speak to children at their level, transforming stiff rituals into moments of connection. She became the quiet force who guided her family through public grief at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, and the mother who, behind closed doors, held her children's hands through nights of fear and change. But it was Catherine's battle with cancer in 2024 that truly revealed her mettle. Instead of retreating, she faced the world with honesty, recording a message that spoke not just of diagnosis and treatment, but of hope, gratitude, and the importance of early detection. She became an advocate for others, her vulnerability a source of strength for millions. Her public return, cautious but triumphant, was hailed as a turning point not just for her, but for the monarchy itself. The Vatican Accord, a spiritual pact for a divided world. What unfolded at the Vatican was far more than a ceremonial meeting. It was a spiritual pact, a shared recognition that the world's old divisions need new healers. In a deeply symbolic gesture, the Pope offered a private blessing, while Charles declared Catherine not only a cherished daughter-in-law, but a true partner in the monarchy's mission for unity. The Vatican's own officials described the encounter as historic, not for its pageantry, but for its honesty. It was as if centuries of conflict and misunderstanding were, for a moment, set aside, said one. There was a sense that something new had begun. For Catherine, the moment was overwhelming. In the privacy of her hotel suite, she allowed herself a rare display of emotion, tears of humility, gratitude, and resolve. For William, the day would forever be etched in memory as the moment the woman he loves was recognized, not just as a royal, but as a global symbol of hope. Repercussions beyond the palace. Back in London, the news sent ripples through the corridors of power. Royal aides scrambled to prepare statements, while commentators struggled to grasp the magnitude of what had transpired. For the first time in generations, the monarchy was not just reflecting on its past, but boldly stepping into the future. The title Unity Monarch is more than symbolic. It signals a new era in which tradition and modernity, faith and reason, service and humility can coexist. Catherine's influence, already felt in her mental health advocacy, her championing of early childhood development, and her embrace of environmental causes, is now poised to grow even further. Her vision is not just ceremonial, but substantive, a monarchy that leads by listening, that heals by helping, and that inspires by example. Insiders suggest that Catherine's expanded role will soon see her representing the crown on solo international visits, fostering dialogue across faiths, forging partnerships for humanitarian causes, and acting as a bridge between divided communities. There is even speculation she may undertake a solo mission to the Vatican, addressing issues from refugee crises to climate change in partnership with Catholic leaders, a move unthinkable even a decade ago. The heartbeat of the family. But for all her global ambitions, Catherine remains, at her core, the heart of her family. In quiet moments, she comforts William in the privacy of their home, she guides Charlotte and Louis through the intricacies of public life, she anchors George with her steady presence. Observers have noted how her gentle touch, her whispered encouragement, her willingness to share both joy and sorrow, have made her not only a beloved mother, but the emotional cornerstone of the future monarchy. Charles himself, in unguarded moments, has spoken of Catherine as the daughter I never had, but always needed, a sentiment that reveals just how profoundly she has transformed the royal family from within. The dawn of a new era. The Vatican summit marks not just a diplomatic milestone, but a turning point in the story of the British monarchy. For centuries, kings and queens have clung to tradition, fearful of change. But Catherine's journey, from outsider to unity monarch, from survivor to symbol, proves that true leadership is born of compassion, resilience, and the courage to embrace the unknown. As the world looks on, there is a palpable sense that something fundamental has shifted. The monarchy is no longer content to dwell in the past. With Catherine at the helm as wife, mother, advocate, and now unity monarch, a new era has begun. The path ahead is uncertain. The challenges are immense. But if the tears shed in that Vatican chamber are any indication, this is a family and a woman whose strength lies not in power, but in the quiet, unshakable conviction that love, in the end, is the greatest unifier of all. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts below, and join us next time as we continue to follow the remarkable journey of Catherine, Princess of Wales, the Unity Monarch for a new age.